6ix9ine comes to LA, it's over.
New footage has exploded online, and it shows Trippie Redd sitting behind bars. But this ain't just some random arrest. This one is being linked directly to the murder of 6ix9ine's girlfriend. Remember when Trippie made that bold threat years ago? Fans are convinced he finally acted on it. But instead of targeting 6ix9ine himself, he allegedly went after someone way closer to him. And the way investigators tied his name into the case is what's really sending shockwaves through the internet. Here's the breakdown. Trippie Redd, arrested in connection to the murder of 6ix9ine's girlfriend, Ariela Lalan Gosta Maya Polanco. She was shot dead in cold blood on the Cross County Parkway in Mount Vernon, New York, a crime that left the hip-hop world frozen in disbelief. Just 3 weeks later, footage surfaces of Trippie behind bars, sparking an avalanche of rumors that he's the one authorities are holding responsible. When you look at the long, messy history between Trippie and 6ix9ine, you can see why people instantly started connecting the dots. Their beef goes all the way back to 2017. And it wasn't just about music. This was betrayal mixed with street politics, a combination that's always one spark away from blowing up. And the craziest part? The whole mess traces back to a girl named AX. This wasn't your usual love triangle drama. It was the root of one of hip-hop's nastiest rivalries. Back in 2016, when Trippie was first blowing up with mixtapes like A Love Letter to You, AX was right there in his corner. She popped up in his posts, inspired tracks like Love Scars, and basically played the role of the ride-or-die girlfriend who helped shape his image. Then everything flipped. After she and Trippie broke up, 6ix9ine swooped in and started dating her in mid-2017. Out in the streets, there's rules you don't cross. Respect is everything. And when it came to 6ix9ine, Trippie felt like that code got shattered.
Y'all expect me to be good to people that wasn't good to me. Man.
The drama kicked off when rumors spread that 6ix9ine was pursuing AX at a time that raised eyebrows, and Trippie let the world know exactly how he felt. He blasted 6ix9ine in viral rants, calling him a pedophile and a weirdo, throwing their beef into the spotlight in the most brutal way possible. But this wasn't just about jealousy. This was about loyalty, principles, and street honor. And the disrespect didn't stop there. 6ix9ine decided to humiliate Trippie on stage during a packed club show by flipping the lyrics of his breakout hit Gummo.
Bro's a weirdo, bro. He be coming to my sessions, he'll sit there and be quiet, act like a bitch, bro. And he gonna say shit, bro. Like, he always in the cut, like, whispering and on some, like, little weird gay shit. Like, bro is not no savage, bro. Like, he's not really about anything, bro. And the fact that I gave this the clout.
He shouted out Trippie's name but twisted it into a diss, directly mocking him in front of a live crowd. The clip went everywhere online, a public slap in the face that lit their feud on fire all over again. In hip-hop culture, disrespect like that doesn't fade. It lingers for years, building enemies who never forget. And while the personal side was already toxic, the business side made things way worse. Trippie claimed he was the one who first helped 6ix9ine get in the door with 10K projects, saying he was owed a finder's fee and even bragging about getting a cut, allegedly 10%, of 6ix9ine's biggest hits, like Gummo and Keck. Whether the money talk was real or not, Trippie swore he had created a monster that turned around and bit the hand that fed it. The mix of professional envy and personal betrayal is dangerous anywhere. But in rap, where gang ties and street codes run deep, it can spiral out of control fast. And spiral it did, because things went beyond online insults in November 2017 when 6ix9ine allegedly orchestrated a physical attack on Trippie at a New York hotel. This wasn't some random scuffle outside a club. This was a planned move, carried out with members of the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods. Anthony Harv Ellison didn't just throw shade, he threw fists, straight up punching Trippie Redd in the mouth. Trippie wasted no time hopping on Instagram Live, showing off his busted, bleeding lip, and blasting 6ix9ine for allegedly setting up the attack. That's when he started making some chilling threats that had everybody talking. But here's where things really get twisted, and why the streets started linking this drama back to Ariela's murder. During 6ix9ine's 2019 federal trial, he took the stand and testified that Trippie was tied to the 5'9 Brims, a rival crew to his own 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods. Now, whether that was the truth or just 6ix9ine trying to cover himself in court, the damage was already done. The claim added a dangerous layer to their beef, pushing it out of rap beef territory and into full-on gang politics. And trust me, the 5'9 Brims are nothing to play with. These aren't local wannabes. This is an organized set with a reputation for fraud schemes, drug trafficking, and straight-up violence from shootings to murders. Need proof? In January 2025, Marvin Muck Pippins, a known 6ix9ine member, got sentenced to life for the murder of Sean Pert, a real right blood in Brooklyn. Just a month later, in February 2025, 14 members of the 6ix9ine Brims and the Bloodhound Brims were slapped with a massive conspiracy indictment for murder and at least 19 shootings. That's not just a rap lyric. That's paperwork proving they're knee-deep in deadly business. So while to the outside world it might have looked like the beef between Trippie and 6ix9ine cooled off after 6ix9ine cooperated with the feds in 2019, snitching on his 9 trade crew to chop his sentence from life down to just 2 years, the streets were just waiting for the right moment to explode. And 6ix9ine's decision to cooperate with federal authorities lit the fuse. His testimony earned him the permanent label of snitch, turning him into a walking target overnight. Even prosecutors warned during his sentencing, there is no question that the defendant's life will never be the same. They made it clear, he and his family would need constant protection just to stay alive. But here's the thing, that danger didn't just hang over 6ix9ine, it spilled onto everyone around him. And Ariela Gostamea Polanco, better known as Ella, found herself trapped in that deadly orbit. As this investigation unfolds and more details leak out, one thing is crystal clear. The streets never forget. In the world of hip-hop beef and gang politics, revenge doesn't always hit the main target. Sometimes it hits the people closest to them, the ones who never see it coming. So did Trippie Redd really play a role in Ariela's death? That's still uncertain, but the timing, the history, and the brutal politics wrapped around this case have everybody watching with wide eyes. This wasn't random violence, this was a calculated move, which brings us to Ariela's chilling final moments. On that cold New York morning, around 8 a.m., Ariela was discovered in her black Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon on the eastbound side of the Cross County Parkway in Mount Vernon. Police didn't hesitate. They ruled it a targeted hit almost instantly. Authorities described it as an orchestrated homicide, a term they don't throw around lightly. That means this wasn't sloppy street chaos. This was execution-level precision. And Ariela wasn't just some background name tied to 6ix9ine. She had her own hustle and her own following. At 33 years old, this Dominican beauty had carved out a lane in New York's nightlife as a bartender, dancer, and model. Her Instagram, a powerhouse, racking up over 566,000 followers. Ella's final hours paint a heartbreaking picture. She had just finished a long shift at Icon New York Lounge in Manhattan, where she was loved by regulars as the go-to hostess and bartender. She was hustling every night, grinding to provide for her 2 children and keep up the lifestyle she built for herself. But the drive home turned into a nightmare. Her black Mercedes told the story of pure violence, shattered windows, bullet holes riddling the body of the car, and the Westchester County medical examiner confirmed the chilling detail. Ella died from multiple gunshot wounds. This wasn't a warning shot or an intimidation move. Whoever pulled that trigger was making one thing clear. They wanted her gone, and they carried it out with brutal precision. And here's where 6ix9ine's world collides with tragedy. Ella wasn't just a random name in his orbit. She had appeared in his 2023 music video for WAPE, and even performed with him at venues like the Tobo Room in New York, putting her right in the spotlight as part of his circle. While some tabloids rushed to label her his girlfriend, outlets like TMZ and USA Today clarified she was a close friend and associate, but that only made the streets look even harder at her connection to him. 6ix9ine's reaction told the world how deep that bond really ran. On August 18, 2025, he broke his troll-like persona and posted emotional tributes across Instagram. He called her a tremendous woman, the Queen of New York, and my sister. In one story he wrote, "You supported me in everything. NY won't ever be the same. I loved you." He even shared videos of them together with their favorite track, Aventura's Obsession, playing in the background. What made these posts so shocking was how out of character they felt. This was the same man who built his brand off trolling, beef, and controversy, suddenly stripped of the act, speaking straight from the heart. He even wrote in Spanish, "Te amé y te amaré," meaning, "I loved you and I will love you forever." That raw emotion was undeniable, underscoring the weight of his grief. And the timing? That's what had everyone's head spinning. Ella's murder came just 6 days before 6ix9ine's own arrest on August 23, 2025, for violating supervised release. 6ix9ine's arrest came fast, Probation violations stacked against him, from unauthorized travel to Las Vegas to failing drug tests and skipping mandatory screenings. On paper, none of this had anything to do with Ariela's murder, but the timing, way too close. And that's why the streets immediately started connecting dots, even if those dots weren't there. Here's the real truth though. 6ix9ine's history of feuds and his gang ties turned everyone around him into potential targets. His decision to cooperate with federal authorities back in 2019 changed his life forever. By testifying against members of the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods, he didn't just earn the snitch label, he became a marked man. Even prosecutors warned at sentencing, there is no question that the defendant's life will never be the same. They knew his family and anyone in his orbit would have to live with a target on their backs. And when you look at his testimony, it's clear why people were furious. In court, 6ix9ine admitted, "I wanted the aesthetic to be full of 9 Trey." He confessed to being their financial engine, saying his job was to keep making hits so the gang could stack money and buy guns.
I don't think you understand.
No, you don't understand. I don't care if you're Drake. So right now you should be arrested. I don't care who you have next to you. I don't care who you are. You have no license. The reason that I stopped you is because of your tinted windows. You both know what you were doing in there.
His words didn't just sting. They led directly to convictions of major players like Anthony Harv Ellison and Aljamiah Nuke Mack. So when Ariela was killed, speculation online went wild. Comment sections filled up instantly. That's why you don't date walking targets. Others wrote, "Being close to him is crazy." Some even pushed darker rumors, suggesting she may have been viewed as disloyal or snitching herself, and that's why she was executed. The narrative was messy, but one thing was consistent, and being tied to 6ix9ine was seen as a death sentence in the streets. Meanwhile, the places Ariela worked tried to shine a different light on her memory. Icon New York, the lounge where she spent countless nights behind the bar, posted their own tribute on Instagram. "We lost our shining star." That's how Icon New York remembered her. Their heartfelt tribute read, "Darla Lagoa, our hearts are broken. Your joy, your humility, and the way you treated everyone with so much care always made you stand out. Thank you for giving so much love and support to our home, which also became yours." And it didn't stop there. Starlets of New York added their own message. The entire Starlets family is deeply saddened by the loss of Wara Lagoa. She was a one-of-a-kind soul, a beautiful friend, loving mother, and daughter whose smile and energy lit up every room she entered. These tributes prove one thing. Ella wasn't just some woman riding 6ix9ine's fame. She had her own world, her own reputation, and real love in her community. But here's where things take a darker turn. Street whispers point to another layer in this tragedy.
If 6ix9ine comes to LA, it's over. And I'm in New York right now, bro. You feel me? So it's like, if y'all really think, bro, about that, bro, really go tell that, like, pull up right now, like, right now, like, cause bro, a bitch, bro. You want to know what bro did? Bro had niggas waiting for me at my hotel. Some 9 Trey. As soon as I walk in the building, hit right in my mouth, nigga. Got hit in my mouth. Then my niggas beat his niggas' asses and then they ran. I chased the nigga myself, mostly. I ran them niggas down myself.
Shout out to the
Me,
real
myself,
9
and
Trey,
I.
died on the hotel lobby.
Them niggas hoes for real though. All them y'all niggas.
They don't know. This my battle wound. This my battle. You know me. Like,
But yeah,
down this.
6ix9ine done. 6ix9ine cannot come to LA.
6ix9ine stands for a sexual position because he sucks rainbow hair and fat. Tekashi, I hope you, bro. And
I just got back from a video shoot. He did.
6ix9ine got STDs. Fact.
He want to preach. He want to preach all this positive, all this weird.
Reports claimed Ella was romantically linked to a man named Nada Cartier, described as a suspected gang leader. And get this, Cartier was taken into custody for questioning right after her death. That connection instantly shifted the narrative. Could her murder have been tied to Cartier's alleged gang business rather than 6ix9ine's past? Authorities haven't released updates on Cartier's status, but the fact his name is even in the mix throws gasoline on an already burning mystery. Meanwhile, tributes poured in from big names across the hip-hop world. Cardi B posted a short but powerful message on her Instagram story. R.I.P. Dominican Pretty, a nod to Ariela's Dominican roots and her influence in New York's nightlife and music circles. Latin artist La Insuperable also shared her grief, honoring Ella's impact in the Dominican community and the Latin music scene. And that's what makes this so heartbreaking. Ariela wasn't chasing chaos. She was building something positive. From nightlife to modeling, she was hustling for her kids, creating a name for herself, and earning genuine respect. Ariela's last Instagram post, dated June 7th, 2025, carried a haunting message: happy and blessed. The photo showed her enjoying a night out, smiling like she had no idea what was coming. Behind that post was a hard-working mother, juggling multiple jobs in New York's cutthroat nightlife scene, hustling to build her brand while providing for her kids. Just months later, her life was stolen. The case itself has gone national. Local, state, and even federal agencies are involved. But as of August 24, 2025, no arrests have been made and no official suspects have been named. The silence from investigators is telling. Either the murder is too complex to untangle quickly, or the authorities are keeping details locked away so they don't blow their cover. But the bigger picture here can't be ignored. 6ix9ine's past turned his world into a danger zone, and anyone connected to him automatically inherits that risk. His face is practically a billboard for chaos, with 69 tattooed across his forehead, making any kind of witness protection impossible. And the fact that he refuses to fully cut ties with his old lifestyle, that just makes him, and everyone around him, sitting targets. Now let's talk comparisons. When you stack Trippie Redd against 6ix9ine, the difference in their street credentials is staggering. On one side, you've got 6ix9ine, a rapper who dove headfirst into gang wars, testified in federal court, and left a bloody trail that touched everybody in his circle. On the other side, there's Trippie, a guy whose rap persona screams violence, but whose actual record looks closer to petty hustles than cartel-level crimes. The contrast is wild. Trippie's biggest run-ins with the law? Minor stuff, traffic violations, small disputes. Nothing close to the federal indictments, racketeering charges, and violent gang affiliations that define 6ix9ine's career. That's why one man's world is littered with shootings, murders, and federal trials, while the other mostly just deals with online beef and reckless talk in tracks. Let's run it from the start so the pattern's clear. Back in 2017, during his early rise, Trippie Redd was rumored to be involved in a fight in Atlanta, but no formal charges ever came out of it. Just typical young rapper noise. The first real legal heat hit in May 2018 when Trippie got arrested in Atlanta for aggravated assault and battery after a woman claimed he pistol whipped her. Sounds heavy, but he posted a $5,000 bond, and the case quietly closed without a conviction. In the streets, that usually means weak evidence or a deal under the table. Either way, Trippie slid out clean. Then came June 2018, another arrest, this time in New York, for a nightclub fight. It was written off as disorderly conduct, misdemeanor level. He paid the fine and kept moving. Add a later arrest for driving without a license, and his record looks more like poor choices than gangster activity. But here's the flip. In November 2017, Trippie wasn't the one throwing hands, he was the one getting hit. 6ix9ine's 9 Trey crew rolled on him in a New York hotel, with Anthony Harv Ellison punching him in the mouth on 6ix9ine's orders. Trippie went live right after, showing his busted lip and calling 6ix9ine out. In that moment, he was the target, not the aggressor. Now compare that to 6ix9ine. By November 2018, he was the one in handcuffs, arrested in a massive federal sweep led by NYPD, ICE, and Homeland Security. Then the feds moved in, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives officially targeting the 9 Trey gangsta bloods. This wasn't neighborhood drama or petty charges. This was RICO, the highest level of federal prosecution. The indictment laid out 6 major counts against 6ix9ine: racketeering, conspiracy, firearms offenses, conspiracy to commit murder, violent crime in aid of racketeering, assault with a dangerous weapon, and committing crimes in aid of racketeering. U.S. Attorney Jeffrey S. Berman made it clear, as alleged in the indictment, this gang, which included platinum-selling rap artist Tekashi 6ix9ine, wreaked havoc on New York City, engaging in brazen acts of violence. And the list of incidents proves it wasn't just talk. On March 20th, 2018, 6ix9ine allegedly helped attempt to kill a rival just to boost his own standing in 9 Trey. By April 3rd, 2018, he was caught participating in an armed robbery in Times Square with stolen goods recovered as evidence. Then came June 2nd, 2018, when he reportedly paid $20,000 to have shots fired at Chief Keef outside the W Hotel in Manhattan. But the most chilling? July 16, 2018, when 6ix9ine conspired to have someone shot for disrespecting 9 Trey, and instead an innocent bystander got hit in Brooklyn. That's the difference between rap beef and real-life violence. While Trippie was stacking misdemeanor charges over nightclub fights, 6ix9ine was literally paying for hits on his enemies. And then came the twist. During his 2019 federal trial, 6ix9ine pointed the finger at Trippie Redd. He testified under oath that Trippie was affiliated with the 5'9" Brims, a direct rival faction to 9 Trey. That's why 6ix9ine kept saying, "We had issues," hinting their feud wasn't just about music, but rival gang ties. And when you look at the 5'9" Brims, it's not hard to see why that claim added fuel. These aren't wannabes. They're a real set with deep roots. The 5'9" Brims started back in San Diego in the mid-1970s and eventually spread to major cities like New York and Atlanta. Their rep? Fraud, drug trafficking, shootings, and even murder. Fast forward to January 2025, Marvin Muck Pippins, a confirmed 5'9" Brims member, was sentenced to life for murdering Sean Pert, a real right blood in Brooklyn. Just a month later, February 2025, 14 members of the 5'9" Brims and Bloodhound Brims were charged in a sweeping conspiracy indictment covering murder and 19 separate shootings. That's not just street gossip. That's federal paperwork proving how dangerous this set really is. But here's the catch. There's no independent proof that Trippie himself was ever truly tied in. Outside of 6ix9ine's testimony, nothing confirms his membership. And Trippie's own reaction? Cryptic. He posted on Instagram, "Elmao. I was so determined to get to where I am now. Love you all in my life." No confirmation, no denial, just a slick way to sidestep the claim without giving 6ix9ine the satisfaction of a direct response. The truth is, Trippie's earliest ties trace back to the 1400 block in Canton, Ohio, more of a neighborhood clique than a national gang. He hung with local bloods, but his energy was poured into music, especially after tragedy struck. His older brother, who rapped under the name Trippie Redd, was killed in a 2014 car accident. Trippie has often said that loss is what fueled him to chase music, not gang life. And that's where credibility comes into play. Remember, this is 6ix9ine we're talking about, a man who cut deals with prosecutors and snitched on his entire crew to chop his life sentence down to just 2 years. And let's be real, 6ix9ine's history of trolling and wild antics makes everything he says suspicious. His lawyer, Lance Lazaro, once defended him by claiming, "People who call Mr. Hernandez a coward for testifying are the real cowards. But in the streets, snitching is the ultimate betrayal, no matter how you dress it up." That's exactly why 6ix9ine's cooperation with prosecutors put everyone around him in danger. Even officials admitted, there is no question that the defendant's life will never be the same, warning that he and his family would need constant safety precautions. And the March 2023 gym attack proved them right. He was jumped by multiple men inside an LA Fitness, beaten so badly he had to be hospitalized. No one could prove it was 9 Trey retaliation, but speculation spread instantly. And that's the scary part. Anyone close to 6ix9ine carries that same target on their back. Romantic partners, associates, even friends like Ariela all inherit that risk just by being in his orbit. Now compare how Trippie and 6ix9ine handle conflict, and the difference is night and day. Trippie's 2018 track I Kill People used violent bars as artistic expression, common in rap. But 6ix9ine? He admitted under oath to financing real violence. He told the court, on or about June 2nd, 2018, in furtherance of 9 Trey, I paid a person to shoot at a rival member of 9 Trey to scare him. That's not just rap, that's paperwork. By 2025, their paths couldn't look more different. Trippie's latest legal slip was minor. A July 4th arrest at Miami International Airport for an old driving without a license warrant, resolved with a $150 bond. Meanwhile, 6ix9ine was taken down again on August 23, 2025, this time for violating supervised release with drug possession and unauthorized travel. The heartbreaking truth is this: Ariela's murder, whether tied directly to 6ix9ine's past or not, shows exactly how gang life leaves collateral damage. The ripple effect is brutal, swallowing up people who were never supposed to be part of the war. Trippie Redd's rumored 5'9" Brims ties remain unproven, and his rap sheet shows nothing more than small-time missteps. But 6ix9ine's documented history with 9 Trey created a storm of violence that put everyone around him in the line of fire. The streets don't care if you're a girlfriend, a close friend, or just someone doing business, if you're standing next to a target, you become a target too. And Ariela paid the ultimate price for being in that orbit. What do you think really happened here? Was Ariela a victim of 6ix9ine's past catching up to him, or was something deeper at play? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that expose the darker side of fame and hip-hop.